My name is Chris J. Reed. I'm the CEO and founder of Black Marketing, and we focus on LinkedIn and enabling LinkedIn for the world. My role is very much to create the brand of Black Marketing and to create business. So finding other entrepreneurs, other CEOs who need our help on LinkedIn, not just in Asia Pacific, but also across the world, in Europe and in North America, in Australia and New Zealand, to actually use their LinkedIn profiles to achieve their business objectives. We just do LinkedIn. Other consultancies focus on things like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but we are purely focused on LinkedIn, and that's a real USP. Not only that, but we're targeting the premium end of LinkedIn. So we only deal with CEOs, we deal with founders, serial entrepreneurs, people who believe in their own personal branding and their own company, because the one and the two are together. They are their company are them. People buy into them as a personal brand. So it's very important for them to have an enhanced personal brand when it comes to things like employees, future employees, clients, investors, the media, and all of the stakeholders. There's dramatic change in marketing, there always is. Every single year, every single month, there is a new product, a new style, a new trend, a new social media platform. But there are certain brands out there, such as LinkedIn, for example, and Facebook, and now Instagram, for example, which are really coming to the fore in terms of being powerful brands that make a real difference to people's businesses. But you never know what the next trend is. No one would have predicted WhatsApp 3 or 4 years ago. No one predicted Facebook 7 or 8 years ago. No one predicted LinkedIn a few years before that. So you don't know what's going to happen next. And people are now realizing that anyone can be an entrepreneur and anyone can work for their own business. There was a great quote from an advertising agency this week which basically said, anyone with a mobile in their bedroom can run a marketing agency. And it's true, anyone can do that, because you don't buy media anymore. You look more about content marketing now. You look to how to influence people. Social media has given the power to the people, and brands have lost all that power. So it's all about enhancing that and making sure you're a reputable brand who actually delivers what they say they're going to. Most enjoyable is obviously seeing success for your clients. You know, when we actually take over a client, like I had a client on Monday, for example, we just started sending out new business emails for a very specific target audience. And he suddenly had 25% response rate, and they were all positive. They all wanted to see him because what he's got to sell is very exciting, and we managed to convey that in our messaging and our targeting. So that's amazing, because we're helping him build a business. Key skill is very much understanding brand positioning. Where is your brand being positioned? Where is your person being positioned? Because these days a personal brand and a company brand are interchangeable, especially when the company owns, the person owns the company, and they're interchanged in terms of you buy the person, you're buying the company, and vice versa. So brand positioning is absolutely key, and you do that very much through everything from the design, the feel, the content, the website, the LinkedIn company page, the personal page, who they're recommended by, who they're connected to. So that is very much the biggest challenge in terms of positioning in the right kind of way, because that will determine success and failure. Well, the personal branding starts with you and what you want to achieve. So in the UK, when I first started creating my own business, it's very important to actually go out there and create a personal brand, because you have no money to spend on B2B marketing. You have no money to spend on any kind of marketing. You're an SME, you're a startup, you're an entrepreneur. So the only one thing you have, as people like Richard Branson has showed us, is actually you have your personality, you have your personal brand. And actually if you go out there and you do things like blogging, you do things like event speaking, you put yourself out there and say, this is who I am, this is what I can say, this is what I believe in, and by the way, this is my company over here by association, you will win people over just by putting your hand up and saying, I can do that, I will do that, because people need that. You can't just have lots of people who just sit and watch and waiting for other people. You do need some leaders, you do need people who are brave enough to go out there. I look for determination, I look for tenacity, creativity, enthusiasm. Obviously with being on LinkedIn, we look for people who've actually bothered to look at their LinkedIn profile, to have a picture, to have connections, to have description, to have different aspects of LinkedIn, but also we look for someone different. We look for someone who's put down what they did at university, what they did at school, what they did in their part-time, what they did outside of school. Because I look for somebody who's actually looking outside the box and being an entrepreneur themselves, so that we can actually give them the benefit of our advice, but also hopefully they can become a superstar after they leave us as well. And I look for people who can actually sell themselves and market themselves. The most important lesson is to network. My granddad told me when I was 9 years old, well before the internet existed, well before LinkedIn was invented, that it was about who you know, not what you know. And I didn't really understand that. As a 9-year-old, I thought, what does that mean? Surely I get a degree and I go to O-levels and I get all this and that's all right because I'll get a job and I'll go from there. But I quickly learned that means nothing. It's actually about who you know, because all my career has been about, I've known this person, so they've introduced me to this person, I've got this job because I've known that person. Even over here, every single job I've got hasn't been published. So it's all been through connections, through LinkedIn, through who I know, through connections. Half the work we get, the clients we get, are through connections and referrals and people you know. And even in London, you know, when I created my own business, when we generated new business, it was about referrals, about who you know, it's about because someone saw me do a blogging or someone do me a speech and they said, oh yeah, he's good because he did this. And it's all about connecting. So really the qualifications are useless when it comes to getting a job, getting the job you want to. It's great in terms of getting a foot in the door. You can say, yes, I've got a degree, but if everyone has got a degree, as they have in Singapore, for example, then having a second degree is not really worthwhile. It's about your experience. It's about who you know. It's about who can connect. It's about who can recommend you. I would say connect more, you know, because even when I was 20, and 21, I didn't appreciate fully the power of connecting, the power of actually using connections, and actually looking holistically at, you know, not being as, say, confrontational or not, you know, looking at politics. I've been the victim of politics several times. I've been fired several times as a result of purely politics because I'm not very good at politics. But I basically paid the penalty of that several times, a couple of times here and a couple of times in the UK. Second of all, connect with people. Leave your jobs on amicable terms because you never know where those people are going to turn up next and where you might go with them. Take risks, be passionate about what you do every single minute of every single day. Be passionate about what you do and don't be frightened to follow your dreams. You want to move country, move country. You want to move jobs, move jobs. You know, don't wait. Follow your instincts. If something feels bad, it normally is bad. You know, so don't go that way. You know, don't do it just because people throw money at you, because that road is to ruin. You won't be happy as a result of it. Follow your passion, follow your instinct, and make sure that you're happy. Because if you're happy, it doesn't matter where you work. But your work tends to determine whether you are happy or not, because that you spend 10, 12, 15 hours a day at work. So if you go home and all you talk about is how a bad day you had because you hate your work, change your job. Do change and make sure that you're happy so that all the people around you then can be happy as well. The main thing is to share is don't get caught up with qualifications. Qualifications will only get you so far. Because if you have a limited personality and you have no experience outside of those qualifications, most employers now are going, well, everyone else has got a qualification as well. What's the difference? Where are you different? Where's your branding, your personal branding different to everybody else? Because you're competing now, not just in a country, but globally, regionally and globally, you're competing. You're competing with Americans, you're competing with people from Australia, you're competing with lots of different people. But you haven't stopped saying it's unfair and start restricting people. You actually have to say, I can step up and I'm better than them because I've done X, Y, and Z. I put myself out there and I created this business, or I started this, or I joined this society, or I made a difference to the community here, or I made a difference to people, or I generated new business. Don't wait. Because if you wait and you start doing more degrees and studying more and more, you know, your life will be passing you by, and you'll be in your mid-30s, you'll be going, what happened to my life? What happened to my career? And even then, it's never too late. You can always start again and actually start your own business, or start something afresh, or start a blog, or start a conversation, or change things, or change country, and just change the dynamics. It's very good for you, from an intellectual point of view, to actually change companies, to change jobs, to change roles, change countries. You know, challenge yourself.